Well, a lot of bodybuilders always smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know, watch Pumping Iron.
Yeah, true.
Arnold smoking weed.
Was that something you did back in the day?
Frank Zane smoked weed. I'll tell you about my history with weed, with cannabis. I mean, when I was a teenager, I smoked weed, but I drank as well. And I preferred weed. I didn't really drink that much. But I saw it as a recreational, fairly mild recreational drug, but anyway, recreational drug, and probably not that great for me to smoke as I'm doing bodybuilding now, and that's healthy. I didn't know wasn't really, it wasn't really like that. But anyway, I thought I better cut it out, and I was like a bit thinking it might, like, I don't know, somehow take my motivation or something, and I wouldn't have the aggression in the gym or all that stuff. So I cut it out, but it was still my thing of choice. If I wanted to relax, I wouldn't drink, because if you drink, you got to recover from that, and the next day you might not be good in the gym, where cannabis doesn't have that effect. So it would be my thing of choice if it was an occasion, a party, my birthday or something. Yeah? So it was always there, but low level. And then when I finished bodybuilding and had this, crisis, and started reading and looking into things, and I started picking up information on cannabis, which was like, wow, this is shocking even to me, like even to somebody that's been exposed to it. I know it had health benefits because a couple of my friends were like second generation Jamaicans, so their old men was like, come from Jamaica, right? Yeah. And in Jamaica, they use cannabis for everything, like whether they smoke it or put it in a tea. It's a medicine for like anything, really. But I kind of thought, it's a bit of the old wise tale or something, from Jamaica. And then I found out, it has so much. There is no single substance on this planet that has as many health benefits as cannabis. Not a single substance. Find one. And there's very little substances as well that is not toxic at some level. Like Joe Rogan made a joke. He said, no one's ever, in the history of mankind, ever died from cannabis. The only way that could happen is if a CIA plane was flying over above and a big fucking bale of cannabis dropped out of the plane onto your head. That could hurt you. Well, that's like the only way. So it's non-toxic. It's massively antioxidant to your cells. It's massively neuroprotective. That's right, neuroprotective. Yeah, you can find all this if you want to find it for yourself. I mean, there was a survey being done with professional athletes, NBA, NHL, NFL. Around 80% of those professional athletes use cannabis on a daily basis because it helps them to recover. It helps them to focus for their training and for the game. So, yeah, that's probably something I would do if I did it again. I would use less stimulants, and I would smoke weed before training because you don't have that crazy aggression, but you have super focus, and you almost become like the muscle, what you're doing. I mean, I could do that anyway. I had super focus, but it would have been interesting to try. I use it now if I train. I do cardio, and I find it amazing.
The athletes you're referring to, are they all smoking weed, or are they taking it in a different way?
Either way, but most of them are smoking blunts, which is, I don't smoke, it's the cigar paper that they smoke it in America. A lot of players saying I'll smoke 2 blunts before I do a game, before I go out and play. It's all there, guys. It's not a Dorianism. I'm not making this stuff up. You can Google it. You can Google patent on cannabis or patent on cannabinoids, and you see that the U.S. Department of U.S. government has patented cannabis for antioxidant and neuroprotective qualities, while at the same time saying that it's not good for you. The cannabis now, because it's been crossbred. It's not genetically modified or anything. It's just cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is a lot higher in THC than it was naturally. So now it's about 25% THC, whereas originally growing from the ground in Jamaica or India or whatever, it's probably like 8%. So it's like 3 times, let's say, stronger in THC. And the CBD, which is like the more calming, that's a bit down, So people can get anxiety and so on from doing it, from the high THC. But there's so many different strains out there now of different, you have strains which are just CBD. There's a lot of different strains out there. So it's about finding what's right for you, or, it just might not be right for you. We were talking before, I said, my wife doesn't smoke. Everyone's like, oh, Gal must smoke. It's like, nah. It's not for her. She don't like it, She'd rather have a couple of shots of tequila, and she's better off with that. So, horses for courses. And I've grown up around it, as I said. There's nobody in my family that doesn't smoke weed. Like my kids, my brothers-in-law, my ex-wife. Like, it's always kind of been part of the culture that I was exposed to. So, and now I know so much more about it. And now I've personally witnessed people using the extract, which they call Rick Simpson oil, because he's the first guy to kind of publicize it, using it to kill cancer. Yeah, you're not supposed to say that. You can't say legally, this thing cures cancer. But I can tell you, I've seen people do it. So
why do you think that why do you think marijuana is still illegal in a lot of countries, say, for example, places in the Middle East?
Yeah.
And B, why do you think that they clearly have the answers to some of these medical problems out there, like cancer, but they're like suppressing them? As soon as someone comes out saying they've got the solution for it, it's like they almost go missing.
I don't know, we'd have to Google and see how much profit is made annually by chemotherapy, but I'd guess it's maybe in the billions. So what pisses me off is that there's a whole industry that plays off people's emotions and their sympathy. Like Cancer Research UK and all these. Donate money because we're making you feel emotional that people die from cancer and you need to help them. I would love to help them, but it's not helping them by me giving money to an organization like that. It's got no interest in curing cancer, especially when they're on all salaries and so on. So all this money that's been raised over the last 30, 40 years, how come we're still doing the same barbaric treatment for cancer? Burn it, poison it, or cut it out. There's better alternatives out there. You should look into it. I mean, do your research and go online and find people. There was one judge that was online. He used cannabis oil to cure his cancer. And he was in tears because he said, I sent so many people to jail for cannabis when I was a judge. And yet I've used it now to cure my own cancer. And I feel devastated that I put people in jail for selling a plant that grows from the ground and has many amazing health benefits, as he found out for himself. And people are in jail for that. It's crazy. And why? Well, it's legal now in many states in the USA. It's legal in Germany. In Spain, it's not legal yet, but it's legal to smoke in your own home or a private club that we have. So it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. UK is not legal, but the police refuse mostly to arrest anyone for just consuming cannabis or smoking on the street. So we're like halfway there, 1 foot, 1 out. When I first went to America, I had to go and see a doctor, have a consultation, and then you take your picture and they give you like a card with like a driving license with your picture on it. And you can go to clubs and you can purchase cannabis because you're a medical patient now. But, it's nonsense, and slowly it got easier to get that, and then, okay, right, it's totally legal now. So it's just a matter of time before that happens. And, people are self-medicating, and the states in America where they've legalized it, the sale of opioids and the use of opioids has gone right down because people are using, instead of a synthetic drug, they're choosing to use a natural plant. Does it have some side effects? Yeah, even though it's a plant, it's going to have some side effects for some people, and maybe it's not suitable for a young developing brain, especially high in THC. So nothing's 100% great, but There's many things you can buy in a pharmacy and that could kill you.
Well, look at your anti-inflammatory thing you're prescribed from a doctor.
Anti-inflammatory, I mean, you could buy please don't do it, but you could buy a bottle of aspirin and swallow them all, couldn't you, and burn a hole through your stomach and die. I know 2 people that have lost their kidneys, 2 bodybuilders. Oh, what is this with bodybuilders and the kidneys? Nurofen.
Really?
Ibuprofen. Yeah, my friend lost both of his kidneys. I'm like, what the hell were you doing? I was taking ibuprofen now because I had joint pains, and you can buy it over the counter. I was whacking them in every day like the Smarties. And another guy as well from anti-inflammatories and painkillers. So death by doctor, man, it's like number 3rd after cancer and heart disease, I think. It's the number 3 cause of death.
Well, I think in the US, I don't know if it's 2nd or 3rd, the cause of medical death in the US is medical negligence.
Yeah, that's
if
it.
Someone fucking up and making a mistake.
Death by doctor, that's basically what it is, yeah. So in America as well, it's funny because they have this from the pharmacies, little orange bottles. And everyone's house you go to, they're just like stacked up with these orange bottles. It's like, no, it's okay, because it's from the doctor, right? You know, but hopefully, I mean, doctors, they're limited in what they can do, right? You know, they can prescribe you things or refer you somewhere else, but there's not really much else they can do. And let's say you're an oncologist that treats cancer, you would lose your job if you didn't give the recommended advice and follow the script, which is just about money. I mean, it's horrible, really. People are dying and suffering for profit.
Do you think that's a situation we'll see change in the next 10, 20 years?
Absolutely. Everything's changing right now. There's a big change, there's a big shift in energy and consciousness that's happening now. And it's like there's been moves on a chessboard. And the big move on a chessboard was the, fake pandemic.
The flu.
And the deadly vaccine that's not a vaccine.
But even the guy who Fauci basically made the whole thing up. Nothing's happened to him.
If you really want to know about it, you should read the book, The Real Anthony Fauci by Robert Kennedy Jr. Shocking, man. I don't know how these people are not in jail and how they're still in their positions. Total corruption. An interesting section in there on general vaccines. These new ones are not good, but the old ones, they were great, right? No. Go back and check that all those diseases that the vaccines took credit for was already massively in decline before they even came out. Due to other reasons, due to sanitation and various things. So, yeah, it's in that book if you want to have a look. I recommend that book by Robert Kennedy. He's done a lot of great work with, corporations that are hurting people in various ways.
Big thank you for your time today, Dorian.
Cool, man.
Where's the best place for people to find out more about you, products you've got going with DY Nutrition?
Well, DY Nutrition, you can find online. That's my nutrition company, and we're going through a big change right now and going to be bringing out like everything, everything that you can think of that's going to be beneficial. And it's my company, So it's my promise to the customers, is my name on it, but I'm not just saying that. I mean, it's transparent. Every product we have, you're going to be able to trace that. I'm going to make a video and show you how it's made, where it's made, so you can see all that. And then you can go and scan and you can see your product number, and you can go online and you can get the analysis to see what it is. And also the toxicology report, because there's a lot of things like proteins, often quite high in heavy metals that they shouldn't be. But
is it the whey protein?
Yeah, it doesn't go through that scrutiny, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of cowboys in the game. Where a pharmaceutical facility, you have to go through many steps. It's the way it functions, and we're one of the only very few with that. So that's the goal with the company, to bring people the correct products, the best that we can do, and it's very transparent. You can see, you compare that to other people, and I don't think anyone else is really giving that service. So really looking forward to the next year with DY. So that's DY. If you want to contact me, go the Dorian Yates. That's my personal Instagram, and you can DM me through there, and I do check the messages. I don't check on all the other social media sites, so that's the best one if you want to Someone from my team will be on the other one, but that's me. You can get me on there. No problem.
Awesome. Big thank you. For everyone who took value from this, love this, make sure you go and check out Dorian's page and check out D1 Nutrition. If you took some value from this, make sure you share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like on the video. And we'll see you next episode very soon. It's really
Cool.
good. Thank you, dude. That's great.
All right, mate.
Really, really good.
Nice one.
It's really good.